Like, I didn't know how to play backgammon. I've obviously seen it when I was a kid. But I had no idea what the fuck backgammon was.
Backgammon was an older game than chess.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. It's old as balls.
The Egyptians played backgammon.
So, me and Pella, which is my best friend's husband, and he's become one of my best friends, obviously that's usually how it works. We go to Amsterdam, and he knows everything about Amsterdam because he lived in Sweden his whole life, so he'd been there 1,000 times.
Yeah, many times.
Yeah, and lived in Denmark for a while, so it was like a quick drive, easy shit. So, we're in the Paradox, which if you ever go to Amsterdam, I would recommend you look up the Paradox. For one, if you want edibles that are going to get you high and are fairly decent priced, you go to the Paradox. It's
a cafe?
Yes, it's a little cafe. It's a tiny place. Like, they'll have lines out the door at peak hours, you know what I'm saying? Well, because it's literally no bigger than my kitchen.
Oh, okay. So it's more of a pass-through place, then.
It's, yes.
It's
just...
It's not enough room for a lot of people to sit down.
No, there's not.
Right.
But there are, people do, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you got probably enough room for 25 people in there.
Okay.
But they got space cakes. And their space cakes are pretty good.
What the hell is a space cake?
It's just a fucking piece of, pound cake. It's a pound cake.
Okay.
They call it space cake. Yeah, it's treated. Dosed up.
Sounds good.
And the weed, because that's where I would go every single fucking day in the morning. Well, we were only there 2 mornings, but the 2 mornings I was there.
You went there?
Oh, yeah, because I knew I could get like...
That was your breakfast?
Yeah, I knew I could get like couple grams of weed, like, because you got to buy it by, it's different. You have to buy, the most you can buy is like 2 grams.
The most?
Yes. At a time. You can buy 2 grams of something and 2 grams of something. I mean, you can buy like, yeah, that's kind of the idea. It's like...
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know it was a limit.
It's only legal to have it. It's not legal, and it's only legal for them to sell if it's in under
place.
2 grams.
Oh.
2 grams or under.
Oh, okay.
That's the only way they can sell it. They can't sell you an ounce. They can only sell you 2 grams. So I would go in and I'd buy 2 grams. Well, it's just the rules that the fucking parliament made up.
But can you go buy more than one time a day?
Yeah, you could buy more than one setting. You could be like, give me 2 grams of this, give me 2 grams of that, give me 2 grams of that. You know what? Give me 4 of those. You can do that.
It's
you
like
just
when
have
you
to.
go to a concert.
It just comes in little. Like they're gonna give you here's 2 gram packets. Yeah.
When you go to a concert and you can't buy more than the beers that you can hold, which is usually 2 or 4. Like I've been to shows like that.
Yeah.
But you can keep going in the line.
Will you double check with her to make sure she's gonna go? Because I can't text her now.
Yeah.
You talking about V?
Yeah.
How's she been doing? She got a new Jeep, right?
Working her dick
She's
off.
got a new Jeep. She's been like
She's working a lot.
sick or something lately. It's like I know she had. Yeah.
She be on my Instagram all the time.
I'm
I
sure.
think she's good.
Did you like the show? The show's on Instagram now.
It's on Instagram now?
And there's a Facebook group too.
Oh, I didn't know it was on Instagram.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just put it on.
Oh, okay. That's why I didn't know. No, I was looking at all those different joints y'all were making, different shapes.
That wasn't me. That was Tom. Other people can post things.
Oh,
Anybody
okay.
can post stuff.
On your
anybody,
thing.
yeah, in the
Gotcha.
Yes.
So that was Tom.
So Tom posted something, which he posted a couple flowers. He's posted a couple flower pics, and then this kid that I know out in plays out at Stony League with me. He's a younger guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's in the mid-20s, but he's growing. But he posted some stuff about some seeds that he was going to start growing and stuff. So I mean, it's kind of like a spot for anyone to post anything.
Yeah, I didn't know a couple other people posting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's weed related and you're not trying to no selling shit.
Right.
So I've gotten a couple of requests to be on the show.
People that want to be on the show?
Mm-hmm. My buddy Matt, his name's Matt Stivers. He's a disc golf player.
Okay.
And he goes, I listen to everyone, man. I'm probably one of your only listen. I'm like, you might be. There's so one view.
Whatever, man. That's cool.
It's much appreciated.
Yeah. That's all it takes, though, is like sometimes people show up in my YouTube feed and like I'll watch one video here, one video there, and then they'll just have that one video that I catch and I'm like, okay, and I'll start watching them more frequently.
Yeah, that's why like the Gary Vee guy's so adamant about just putting up shit.
You don't know what's gonna catch.
Yeah, and don't worry.
Exactly.
Don't worry about what fucking people think about
Exactly.
what you're putting up.
Fuck them.
Yeah, you know. I don't know.
It's all for us anyway. You know.
I mean, it's more
For
for
now.
like I've been thinking about it. To be honest, I don't have any kind of I don't have any way to know what my grandparents were like. I have no idea how to find out. There's no way for me to find out anything about my relatives in the past. Well, this is the way my brother does it all the time. My brother's constantly putting stuff up on Facebook. He's got a Facebook group. He does a lot with recovering people recovering from drug addictions and stuff like that. So he does a lot of his speeches. He's very Christian in that sense.
He's very Christian.
Very,
Is he Christian for real? Like,
yeah,
religious?
Yeah, he's religious, but not. He used to be way more evangelistic. But now he's more, I don't want to say Buddhist because it's the wrong way to put it, but he's more about the actual,
He's
if
walking the path.
Yeah, if anybody is actually preaching the shit that Jesus preached, it's my brother. Nothing he says is anything more, there's nothing but love in everything he says.
Well, that's good.
You know what I'm saying? It's nothing from the front part, or any of the parts that are, go against what Jesus said, basically.
Right.
I mean, and I think that's a good way to approach religion, and I think that's like you said, the Buddhist path, to like walk the path of like whatever you find to be a good life.
See, I like some of the Buddhism, but I also like some Hinduism, some of it.
Well, Buddhism, I heard Alan Watts say one time, he said Buddhism is Hinduism to go.
Gotcha.
Because Hinduism requires a lot of temples and gods and
Yeah.
we're
A lot of study.
Yeah, a lot of study. My fiance wife, my wife basically is very into the Hindu philosophies and practices daily.
Yeah. I don't practice, but I'm doing a lot of research on it and doing a lot of reading up on it.
Well, I practice daily, but it's only in my own head.
I mean, I don't practice Hinduism.
That's what I'm saying. But to me,
I practice meditation and stuff like that, and I do Om and stuff, chanting and stuff like that,
Yeah.
But I don't do it in the name of anything in particular.
And I think that's where Buddhism is different. There's no higher anything else. It's all about yourself.
Right.
And the same with
Buddhism is selfless.
And I think Hinduism is a lot of stories of people figuring that out.
And I'm intrigued with some of the stories.
Yes. The stories are amazing.
They are.
It's from a time when, they're still pooping in holes, but it's from a time when, you don't even know, like someone could die tomorrow and there's no, like now oh, well, he got fucking sick from something that he ate. Something.
Right.
Back then, it was just like, fuck, he's gone.
I'm intrigued with India and the what I want to call it, the folkiness of it, like
folkiness.
Well, I think the ancient tradition is what I should say.
Like the folklore of like, well,
it's like the what do they call them, the Vimanas. You know what I'm talking about?
What?
The wars they used to have using Vimanas and stuff like that.
I don't know much about him. Once I found Alan Watts, there was nothing but Zen. So, I don't...
Well, this is back...
I'd rather hear stories from real people now.
This is thousands of years ago.
I know.
And it talks about flying machines and the wars they would have.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was called Vimanas. And if you look it up, they even have a diagram of a Vimana the flying machine
Yeah,
that they
it's like the
use.
circular.
Well, no, it's bell shaped.
Yeah,
It's like bell shaped, and it talks about the wars they used to have and the different, generals and stuff like that. It's very interesting, man. It's extremely.
So you think that's when because it could be when, because again, aliens could come and leave and then come back, and that's the risk of space travel, that people we don't know how it really is. I mean, we know how it is to an extent because we're a little bit out there with the satellites.
Yeah, we're guessing.
We have an idea what gravity does.
Yeah, we have an idea.
To time. But the reality is we don't know, how much time really passes. Do you get, if you get out past Jupiter, how much time has really passed on Earth?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In comparison to the time it took you to get to Jupiter, you know what I'm saying?
And how fast you were going to get there.
Why you don't? I know you don't fucking.
I don't think that's.
I was thinking about different realities too.
Because that's
the other day.
You don't think what?
All right, so I don't really believe I know space is real. I know the star, what we see, planets and but I don't necessarily believe in space. I don't think that we've left I think we go outside we go to inner space.
Yeah.
That's inside our atmosphere, but I don't think that we leave our atmosphere. I think that everything that's here...
You don't think we ever went to the moon?
No.
A lot of people don't believe that because of Van Allen belt.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people just don't believe it because...
And that's what NASA says, and if NASA's
it's a lot of fucking...
But when they asked NASA, why don't we do it again, they said they lost the technology. Did you know that? This was from the NASA...
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, this is from there. Yeah. They said they lost the technology. It's weird, huh?
Yeah.
How
did you...
What difference does it make whether you lost technology or not? They said our cell phones are more technically advanced than the computers they used to go to the moon.
Yeah. I mean, they were using...
So what did you lose?
Rubber bands and
it don't make sense. What did they lose?
I don't know.
But I think that this world is this world, and for us to...
You were alive then.
Yeah. I watched it.
I know.
The night it happened.
We can't watch that now. Not really. Not in
the same frame.
The same quality.
Oh, it was shitty quality.
I'm sure it was. You
Quality
guys
was
have a nice
shitty.
TV back then? What kind of TV did you have? Because your dad was...
No. Let me tell you. People had moon landing parties. I was at a moon landing party. And...
Oh, I believe it. We would too. It would still happen today if we were having another moon landing.
Were there failed attempts before? Were there other times when everybody was like, hey, let's get ready for this moon landing party, and then it just fizzled out?
No.
Oh, damn.
That never happened.
I was kind of hoping.
Yeah, no, that never happened. But the circumstances on which I was watching the moon landing was, I used to belong to a youth ministry at this church called Plymouth Church. It's on Mack and Chrysler Freeway.
You had a time in your life where you were...
And our minister, we had a minister and an assistant minister. Mm-hmm. Our assistant minister was a white guy, a young white guy. He was really cool. So we went to his house to watch the moon landing that night.
How old were you?
18.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. And
damn, I need to see a picture of 18-year-old Rudy.
My friend might have a picture of me at 18.
I have somewhere online a picture of me.
I'll bring you a picture of me in 1982. And
I was 3.
I got braids down to here. Yeah, I got braids down to here.
Braids?
Yeah.
Do you not?
Like Rick James.
Does your hair grow now?
No, it won't grow like that anymore.
No?
No.
Come on, man. Be fucking sensible about that.
That's borderline.
It is borderline.
It's borderline like a motherfucker. A couple of people in my band, they like to smoke, down the
Yeah, they screamers.
Tatar.
The screamers, man.
Man,
So it burns it. You can tell by the callus on a person who fucking
or the color of their finger and their thumb.
roach clips.
That's what
I-
police should do that.
evil stats. When
Roach clips were like a thing in
that's
this
all
world.
we
Oh
ever
yeah, I hate
had.
roach clips.
Dude, I never had
What?
used. I'd like. It was
I
just
hate
kind of a
roach
pain in the
clips.
ass.
I hate them.
Me and the mother of my child, when we were like 17, that's once a joint got to like a third.
Oh, yeah, we had
put
a
them
Put on the roach clip.
Yeah, because we didn't want our fingers smelling like weed.
I never even thought of it that way.
Oh, you just have the yellow thumb.
Yeah.
Police could look at your thumb and tell whether you smoked weed.
Yeah.
You have that yellow thumb. From especially if they get real, if you smoke them down to nothing, you're gonna get that yellow thumb.
And that's crazy because I never get that anymore. Is it just
You know what I get now?
the weed we were smoking?
Resin lip.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll just be like, oh god damn it, and you just know you got this like goopy like brown stain
Stuff on
right
it.
here on your shit, and you can't get rid of it because it's just gonna go away eventually, but you can't get rid of it right away.
Smoking.
Yeah.
You keep on smoking.
Yeah,
You don't stop.
Good old blunts that used to doo-doo like...
Oh yeah, I mentioned the blunt really leaves.
It can, yeah. Blunts are. I don't know. I think if we use real tobacco, it'd be different. Like the ones that Rasta rolls.
I don't want no tobacco. I don't
This
give,
guy
I don't
rolls
give a
like
fuck.
that leaf.
Yeah,
Like
I
real
don't
leaf.
give a fuck.
It's not bad. The nicotine every once in a while.
No,
is okay.
it's the taste of the weed. I want to taste the marijuana.
Do you like the
Yeah, but most people don't have tasty weed.
the palm leaf ones?
Let's talk about that real quick.
Palm leaves. Palm.
Well,
Not
most
palm.
palm leaves.
King palms?
I don't want to smoke palms anyway. Palm leaves.
Most
I mean,
of-
it feels like it's just not a. I don't know, man. If you're gonna smoke anything, just smoke a raw or a
I do
bowl.
like.
You know what I'm
I like the
saying?
original raws. Not.
Yeah, I use the classics usually. I like the classics over everything else.
How much do you pay for raw?
A 300 pack's like $4.
On 8
It's
Mile.
under $5.
On 8 Mile, just before you get to Woodward, on that would be the Royal Oak side, there's a gas station, and they sell those babies for $3. I bought a pack of Elements there, 300 packs of Elements for $3. I was like, oh, I'll be back here. Everybody else is like $4. That's a whole $1 difference. That's a
You
big
know what
difference.
I'm gonna do? I've already figured out what I'm doing.
What's
there's
that?
There's a case on Amazon for like $92.
How many in a
Years
case?
of wine.
Yeah, I don't remember. Like 24, I think. 16 or 24.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That'll last a long time.
It should. We'll
Yeah.
put down a marker.
But
'cause
you know what?
It's me and her going through them.
But you gotta be careful though. Don't open more than one pack at a time. You know what I mean? Because you'll start just.
I never do that. I always
Okay.
have one because I always when I go to the fucking store, I always buy 3.
Man.
So I put 2 away.
Oh yeah.
And I have 1. And I tried the 500 pack because they have like a 500.
I
pack.
know. I did too.
It's just too big.
It is.
By the time you get like a third the way through, it feels like everything's gonna fall out every time you use it.
It does. You're right. I tried it one time. I went back to 300s.
Now Tom, I know he'll buy like blunts in bulk, and I can remember one time I went and bought a box, a hard cardboard box of Philadelphia Phillies, and I was smoking blunts, got halfway through the box, and they all started to get stale and crunchy.
Yeah. Well, with the blunts, you don't want to unless you're
Well,
like,
you have to have a humidor.
unless you're
Yeah.
baby mama. Baby mama smokes blunts daily. You know what I'm saying? That's all he smokes. So he goes through like a 6-pack in a day.
Yeah.
I smoke 3 blunts sometimes.
I know. So when you got a case, if you're smoking 6 to 7 to 8 to 10, give or take the day,
It's just too much tobacco.
that's
It's too much tobacco.
Jeez,
For me.
Me too.
cigarettes, so-
I fucking died, man. We smoked one, and I didn't even get what I got through about that. There was
you
about
got-
that much left. I was like, I'm done. It's just I don't mind a backwood every once in a while.
Ooh.
Because you can fill them pretty fast. Like,
I've never tasted a backwood, but I've seen people roll them and line them up, and they smell so strong.
Yeah, backwoods.
well, there's different versions. There's there's the sweets, there's the honeys.
Oh,
There's,
I didn't
there's
know all
different kinds
that.
like that. But a thing about a backwood is, if you're gonna roll it, you gotta roll it right and put like 2 to 3 grams in it, because it needs to be a stogie, like an actual fat
I
stogie.
got
So
you.
you're not, because the paper is horrible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you've got this tiny little like normal,
You're going to taste
like that,
mostly the paper.
yeah, it's gonna be all paper.
Or
You
the
gotta have,
tobacco.
it's gotta be like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For it to actually be worth the.
You know what I would do at work though, in like, this is, so like, worked in a work truck, I always brought weed and like nobody ever did. So, and I don't mind that, but as my weed gets down in the day, I start rolling half and halves, like a backwoods 50-50.
Oh, I think you said
Nobody will smoke a 50-50 backwood with you.
No.
That way you stretch it.
Yeah, I
That's
stretch it.
European shit, dude.
What's
That's
that?
European
Yeah,
shit.
I don't mind that.
No, I did it. Oh, I did it one time. I've smoked one spliff when we were in Sweden. The guy that we took cannabis off, his name was Christian. Real nice dude. Drives too fast. he's got a fucking like a 2-door Audi, like a really nice, like,
Nice.
oh my god, it's super
Fast?
nice.
Yeah,
and it's quick.
Yeah.
And the
Oh, it's
roads
quick.
there are amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I've heard.
He's whipping through these tunnels, and it's weird because I drove there a couple times, and my car's a Saab, so my car has both. I mean, most cars in this area have both because of Canada. You know what I'm saying? But when I was there, they didn't have both. Obviously, there's no reason for miles per hour. You know, so it's only kilometers per hour.
I got you.
It's only like 80 kilometers per hour is the speed limit on the highway. That's like 60 miles an hour, 50 to 60 miles an hour.
Okay.
Not very fast. It feels fast. Like, I don't know if it's because it's the only numbers you see. Because I've been thinking about that. Because when I drive,
What do you mean it feels faster?
all right, when I drove there, I'll tell you, I
What
was,
do you mean when you're driving?
yeah, when you're driving. Because Pella had a Audi, a little hatchback Audi. It was.
But he drives a manual, right? And that's the thing. Manuals.
I've driven manuals before.
But
It's not like I
manuals-
didn't. I've lived on car. Like 3 of my cars have been manuals, so it's not nothing new to me.
But manuals drive faster to me on
No,
average.
it's
than
not
a
about-
regular car.
It's just, for one, you're going the speed that everyone else is going, so it's not like, you know what I'm saying. It's just, it's weird.
It's a sensation.
Yeah, it's weird because it says 80 miles an hour in my mind. It's saying 80 miles an hour. That's my point. When I see the number, because it doesn't say 80 km.
Gotcha.
It just says 80.
Right.
Like there's symbolism.
And you're thinking miles per hour in
Yeah.
your brain.
Where here, when you see a sign in America, it actually says MPH.
Right.
There, it doesn't say that. It just says a number. So in my head, it's converting it to, I'm doing 80. There's
Yeah.
parts, 100, like 70 miles an hour is 120. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Right.
like my normal speed, but there's no way I'm doing 120
Yeah.
in my
Right.
head. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? For one, I would have been like, through everyone because you know everyone's doing
Speed
basic.
limit.
They were a little faster,
Yeah.
but you start getting into that 90. It just felt like I was going faster, especially just on the highways. I
Yeah.
don't know what it was.
Maybe it's the way the highways are made.
Smoother.
They're
Are
smooth.
they?
No, they're not really. You do go into some fucking tunnels. Like if you
Oh yeah.
if you've been through the tunnels in Kentucky, these ones are longer. Like you got to go and there's interchanges, like exits and everything.
I've been through the tunnels in
these tunnels.
Pennsylvania.
Now what? Why are there tunnels? Is there stuff?
The mountain.
No, it's
Mountain.
because no, it's nothing to do with mountains. It's everything to do with saving the city.
What?
They needed it. All right, Stockholm.
Why would you build a tunnel?
Hold on, let me. Because Stockholm was built in the 1600s, was it not?
Yeah, but highways weren't.
Right. So, unlike Detroit's racist ass, they didn't go in and just wipe out all the poor people with a giant highway through a fucking city You know what I'm saying? Take out all those beautiful houses.
Are you telling me some of it's underground?
All of it's under. No, the city. Yes, even the city itself. Like the city, it's crazy because you go there. The buildings have been there since the 1600s. 1700s is when all this city was built.
Right.
They're the same fucking buildings. You want to know how a grocery store is? It's a giant normal building, 4 stories, because they're all 4 stories for some reason, and they're all connected. So it's just 4 stories all the way down. Beautiful, old Renaissance-looking fucking buildings. And on the corner is an entrance, and it says, boom, welcome to the whatever, the Kmart, whatever the fucking store is, but all you see is stairwells. And then you go down, and it's all underneath everything.
Oh, so all the new shit's underground.
They put a lot of new shit underground, a lot of the stores and
keep-
stuff that you
Well,
need,
you're right, right.
that you need in the city.
You know why?
Why?
Because the Germans. That's why. I saw a special about this. And they, in their mountains, they have all their artillery hidden in the mountains. You can't see it.
Yeah.
Because of the Germans and all their citizens, if I remember correctly, I might be wrong about this.
Germans are real people.
When you get 13 or something, you get a machine gun, ammo, and training. They don't have a standing army. The whole nation is an army.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine, but I don't think it's anything to do with that. I think it's just a necessity to keep, because there's not enough space for the people as it is. So it was a necessity to add in modern necessities that the communities needed for the right, because you can't have a city without places for people to buy fresh food. They're not going to be, even if you have a transit system, because the transit system's completely underground too. When you come into Sweden, because where they live on this island over here, and Stockholm's over here. So, Stockholm's a bunch of islands too. It's a bunch of little islands that are connected by bridges and all that shit. So you come in this way, and you either do one of 2 things. You stay up above ground, and then you go into the city itself, which you can drive around the city and get through. Or you take the tunnel system, which takes you under the city and lets you out in certain spots of the city, and then completely on the other side of the city. So you never have to see the city. Same thing with
It's like a bypass.
Yeah, they built a bypass. Instead of going through like we
They
did,
went under.
They went under. In New York and Chicago, they went over. They did there's places where their bypasses are over. So it's that they had the land to do that because it's just giant fucking boulders.
Well, how many of them?
Bedrock.
It's not that many of them to begin with, is it?
Who?
Swedish people. What are they?
No, there's not. But Stockholm is.
How many million are there?
Yeah, but Stockholm, I think there's 2 million people just in Stockholm area. You know what I'm saying?
So it's a nice sized city.
And they say in the next, Pella was saying, when I went last year, he was saying in the next 3 years they're talking there's going to be an influx of another 1 million to 1.5 million people into the city itself, just into the city. You know what I'm saying? So there's just no, they don't tear anything down. So if they don't tear anything down, they have to figure out how to make things,
Yeah.
And that's
Underneath, on top.
or use
Behind,
old things that people bowling alleys.
That's
They
why.
took a bowling alley.
Well,
they
see, all
gutted
those
it.
That's why
countries-
America's valuable.
All those countries up there, if they belong to the EU, they have to take a certain amount of refugees in from the south.
Yes.
All of them do. So they're building all new cities and shit like that for that purpose.
These people Yarva, the disc golf course that I played there though. It's a famous disc golf. It's the first pay-to-play disc golf course in the world. It was back in '91.
Wow.
That's when it was built. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been around forever.
Oh shit.
When you're playing Yarva, you can actually see, because again, the city itself is old, so it looks old. You get outside the city into the other areas, then you start seeing Soviet-looking stuff. You get what I'm saying? And I don't mean it in the sense that it's that draggy, but it's definitely flat buildings, windows all over it, just plain.
Yeah.
We need to put 2,500 people in this spot. How do we do it? Instead of spreading out like we did here, because here we went 2,500 people, let's just put them in Madison Heights.
Yeah.
Take up 7 miles or whatever the fuck it is. Not even that much. It's 2 miles. There, they were like, nope, we don't want to do that. We don't want to spread and cancer out into the world, so we'll put everybody, because that's just, for one, I think it's to do with the cold too, because of the way they lived when they were it's been there forever.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it change?
And it's cold there.
It's the territories that occupied those city limits before. So whatever it was before was that.
Right.
So the time frame that the city was constructed, what was that country's borders?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's changed a lot.
Well,
Where's that ship at?
What ship?
That Viking ship. Is that in Sweden?
The one that sank? It's not a Viking ship.
No, there's a Viking ship they got in a museum. I saw it on TV.
Are you sure it's a Viking ship?
That's what they said.
Did it sink as soon as it took sail?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember.
We went, so the Voss, I think it's the Voss Museum, is the largest, Sweden's largest attraction is a ship that failed within 2 miles of sailing.
Oh, okay, no, it's different then.
Because the reason I think they keep it, the reason why they made it so.
So it was a building failure
No.
when they built
yes. The king,
Something was
the
wrong.
king at that time was kind of like a spoiled brat type king.
Oh, they built it up too high and it was off balance.
Way up, but like they put,
Yeah,
every
right.
time he would just keep adding shit. On
Yeah, I heard about that.
Stand there and look how high it is.
Wow.
When you're like, because they literally have this thing set up so you can stand at the level where the water was.
I see.
And
You
you
see
just
it.
look up and you're like, and then you look down and realize it's only like one level. It's like 4 levels up
Yeah.
on the back,
Right.
but it's only 1 level down.
well,
so you know it's going to be off balance.
Yeah, it's all-
And then you
only
add in
your
it's
building's
7
pier.
floors, like a 7-floor building,
Yeah.
to the top of the fucking toppest point of the biggest mast. It's sticking out the top of the building. They have it sticking. Well, they don't have it. They have when you come up to the building, there's 3 giant masts on top of the building, and then inside they show it's like supposed to be where the
The
mast.
beam goes through.
No, it doesn't go through. It stops at the building.
Okay.
Because they don't have that stuff. That was
Right.
just a regular mast. They have, I think it's like 60% of it.
How old? Do you remember how old this?
Yeah, it was in the 1700s.
Okay.
So he kept on adding shit, and then they do a thing where they put it on land and they have it roll, and they're supposed to go, like the crew is supposed to run from one side, run to the other, and run back and forth, and it's supposed to be like 20 times. If it doesn't do it within 20, like if you can do that 20 times and it doesn't fall, then you're gonna
You
see
got balance.
3 to 5 times,
Yeah.
every single time. Yet the king was still determined to put it out.
Wow.
So he shipped it out,
He
right?
didn't give a shit.
Off it goes, gets over the horizon. As soon as it gets out of view of people on coast, it flips, kills everyone. Instantly. Hey, what's up? Like completely instant. So everyone fucking died and it sunk and it stayed there. And then they found it in the 1960s.
All right, man.
In the 1960s.
Yeah.
And they brought it back up and have been restoring it ever since.
That's cool.
It's just, and you can stand, they have like the crow's nest is what they call it, I think.
Yeah, right.
They have the replica crow's nest on like one of the levels, and you can
Oh,
actually
you
stand
walk.
in it
Oh,
and feel
okay.
like what it was like, because it's not on the edge. It's
Yeah.
not very high, but it's like 3 stories up.
Yeah.
But you can feel what it feels like, and then you just imagine the fact that it was like 7 stories,
Damn.
and there was dudes up there.
Yeah. You know it was.
Yeah, there was dudes on the whole thing, and they flipped like it. Literally, they say it probably went out, and just one person went this way, and it just the whole thing just tipped.
Yeah.
And it,
Or it's a car. Did they have cargo in it?
dude, it was fully loaded.
Something might have shifted.
It was supposed to go. It was supposed to go out to sea and be Sweden's like.
Yeah, right.
Exploratory ship.
They
And
shit, yeah.
They just no one had any idea, because they didn't see it fall.
Right.
So they
didn't know.
shit happens a lot
it
anyway.
just went out over the horizon and
Boom.
boom.
Yeah, gone. Yeah. So it's their biggest. It's worth the trip. If you go to Sweden and Stockholm, it's worth going in there and seeing that thing, because the extravagance that the guy used. Oh my God!
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like the designs, the etching,
All
the
of the
time,
filigree.
paint,
Yeah.
everything it would have taken to get this the way, and then just
Off or not.
all instantly gone.
Off or not.
Yep. And they had no idea. So I've been thinking about, the other day I was driving, I don't know what brought it up, but I've been thinking about like Rick and Morty shit, like different realities, and how that would be an amazing, like,
I have to watch this Rick and Morty. I've never seen it.
yeah, you should watch it. In Rick and Morty, he's figured out how to travel through the infinite dimensions. And it's infinite. There's infinite dimensions, so this conversation is happening infinitely throughout these dimensions.
The universe.
With multiple variations, as many as you can think of. We're chairs talking type shit. So I'm like, in one episode, they actually go through and they got these glasses that that you can wear, and you can just flip through the different...
Okay.
And see yourself. Like,
All the different parallels.
In the different parallels, and see the perception of yourself and what you're doing and stuff like that. So, like, she's going through, and, like, a bunch of them she didn't... Because she had a kid, and then in half of them she doesn't have the kid, and half of them she does. I mean, that's kind of...
Yeah, right. All the different variables.
Yeah, half of them she's dead, half of them she's not. But
Right.
either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy when you think about it.
So I've been thinking, that's the invention that I'm waiting for. I want to stay alive for that one. Because I just want to see...
The invention where you can go or just see
it. See it. Going is not our lifetime.
So you can just visual something that
Yes.
you can visualize.
Yes.
Well, that to me, time travel. Since things are perception based, you'll be able to travel anywhere in your reality. Anything that you've perceived throughout your life, I think you'll be able to unlock your mind to your past, but going into other people's past. It's not a reality. Time travel isn't a reality. Like,
I mean, to a certain point, from this point on, I think from this point on, time travel is relevant. Because I think there's enough information to replicate the world.
But there's no such thing as time.
No, that's not what I'm talking... I know, but what I mean by that is, in the future, they could take the information that we are gathering at every given moment. There's so much information being gathered by the...
but all
whatever
that,
you want to call
that's
it.
simulation.
No. Again, it's not simulation if if they can literally put it back together the way it was. So yes, you're not going to be able to see the people in the situation, but you might be able to go back to Detroit.
Deception.
You know what I'm saying? Like
deception
now,
of perception is not. It isn't going. Won't be reality still, because reality has
no, I didn't say it'd be reality.
soul and energy.
Does it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Don't you feel it?
I fart sometimes.
Yeah. If all you are is bowel movements, then
We're just a bacteria tube,
That
man.
would be-
We're here to feed the
No,
bacteria fucking slave masters or slave owners.
I
We're
mean-
slaves to our bacteria.
But I often wonder if those energies are just the same thing as magnetism, if it's just a pull.
Could be. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the actual different realities.
Mm-mm.
That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-mm.
I know you don't believe in multiple universes,
For a minute.
but I could get with it. I could see, because it feels like, I think that's what past lives are.
Well, there's places to go.
I think that's where meditation, I don't know if you can get there, but I think that's what you can do is get into that. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, if there is infinite realities, that means there's a reality where everyone in it lives forever. Or you live forever.
Yeah.
There
It's got to be every variable that you
Yeah.
can think of.
So it's a matter of, are you in that one?
There's got to be one where there are alligators walking all everywhere. You got to be careful. There might be another one where people can fly,
Yeah.
like birds. There's all, so everything that you could possibly think of
I'm interested
can be a universe.
I'm more interested in the variables that are dramatic in people's lives. Like, for instance, the deaths that I had when I was young. Having those, what happens if those don't happen? What kind of life is it if Russell lives and my mom doesn't? What kind of life is it if they both live? What kind of life if one lives? So on and so forth. What kind of life is it if Darren doesn't? Like, deaths are more than actual, and then choices too. Choices you make. Like, I left ER. You know, if it works out.
There's a reason for all choices, whether you know what the reason is or not.
Yeah, but if there's infinite realities, you don't really have a choice. You're just in that path.
No, you got a choice. You always have a choice.
You are the choice.
You always have a choice.
You
That's
are
what it's
the
all-
controller of it all.
That's what education and information is all about, your choices. You know,
Now, having the knowledge and the accumulation of life under your wings to make the right choices in the right situations is a completely different thing.
oh, that's life. That's what that is.
That's why there's no right and wrong.
Because there's always what I call, in life, no matter what you're doing, there's always something called an X factor that can pop up at any time. At any time when you expect it or least expect it. That it can pop up. In my life, it's popped up 2 or 3 times, you know. And something completely out of the blue that I never thought would ever happen to me, it happens. And you're like, what the fuck? How did that happen? You're totally amazed because you never expected it in your wildest dreams. But that's life.
That's life.
You can plan all you want to plan, buddy.
True that.
But what life is going to do, life is going to do.
But that's the you can't hold on too hard though. That's you don't want to plan too hard. You have to
Plan too hard.
Well, you know,
Plan too hard.
You know
You
what?
can't plan too hard.
You know
Because life will just take hold.
Just don't
Like
take
you're
anything.
saying.
Don't take anything
Like
too serious.
Well, planning's the same thing as attachment.
Don't
You're
take any-
attaching yourself to a goal
Yeah.
instead of just letting the goals happen.
But having a destination versus having a plan is different to me. Like knowing where you want to be versus.
But that's a plan. But that's a plan.
But you
it is a plan. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it is.
simple. It's just words, though. As Carlin says, what are words?
Yeah. What are words?
What is time? There's no fucking giant clock in the sky.
Like I said, it's just a construct.
I know.
That's all it is. It don't exist anywhere else but in our minds.
It might exist other places in the universe. There might be other
Why
people
would
like
it?
us.
Why would it?
Why wouldn't it?
Because
The universe
it's
is
a
just as
construct.
infinite. The universe
Because-
is just as infinite.
because it's a construct.
And
There's
you don't
something-
think there's another species of creature in this universe that couldn't have come up with the same construct?
No,
I do.
I don't.
I think we're just monkeys typing on a
I think they're
typewriter.
all kind of constructs.
And there's going to be
they're all different.
If you keep a million monkeys keep typing, you're going to type the Encyclopedia
Well, sooner or
Britannica.
later, the monkey's gonna learn how to type.
No, the theory is that if you have a million monkeys typing for eternity, eventually one of them's going to type, just random. Eventually one of them will type the
Something that's not random.
no, Encyclopedia Britannica or whatever, like the full.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's
Well,
if you think about it, if it's typing
That's
for
called the law of averages.
yeah, the law of averages tell you that at some point one of them's just going to eventually type it, and that's what all of us are. We're just monkeys typing, and some of us put out some good shit. Some of us put out most of us put out just shit.
I believe in cause and effect, so I think that everything has something that pushed it. Everything there was a hand that pushed the dominoes.
Well, technically, yes. There's always a cause to everything. It's a matter of whether or not you can see that and learn how to control the effect. That's all.
That's true.
We'll end on that.
Or,
Or whatever Rudy says.
yeah, or whatever Rudy says.